The bodies of 7 students who drowned while attempting to cross a river at Dikpe in the Upper West region have been released to their grieving families for burial. The students, all members of the school's cadet corps, were on their routine morning, jogging exercise when they decided to cross the river in a canoe. But midway through the journey, disaster struck and the canoe capsized, plunging them into the water. While 3 managed to swim to safety, the remaining 7 were swept away by the strong currents. After an intense search, all bodies were recovered and rescue operations have since been called off. Here's a report by our regional correspondent, Rafiq Salam.
Retrieving a dead bodies, 7 students drawn and all retrieved by local divers. Whether they are in same class, from different communities or teenagers, the loss is profound. At the forecourt of the Lawra Municipal Hospital's morgue, sea of mourners gathered, majority of them in uncontrollable bearded tear eyes, grieving and wailing over the loss. Some of them are demanding for answers. One of the dead is a second-year general art student of the school, Lawra SHS. Lois is described by family members and teachers as brilliant, calm, and respectful. His uncle and teacher, Augustine Liabo, is yet to come to terms with what transpired and want answers from authorities.
Lawra SHS is my niece, and the mother passed on 5 years ago, and she has been under my care throughout the period. Unfortunately, yesterday I was called on phone that there was this tragic issue in the school. I arrived to realize that it wasn't in the school, but rather at the riverside. Whatever the issues are, how they got to the riverside is something that I can still not ascertain, and I need answers to these issues because the students have been sent to the school to be taught. How they got to the riverside is something that leaves much to be desired, and I think the authorities that are in charge, I will expect answers from them.
Others want the identified bodies to be quickly released to them for burial. Our Upper West Regional Minister, Charles Wongo Pozon Esquire, has other ideas.
Unfortunately, it's a tragic day. We're not supposed to meet today on a Sunday to be discussing the passing of our children. All I can say is that it's the Almighty God that gives and He takes. Let's have deep hearts, further plead with the family that please allow the authorities a bit of time to go through the necessary procedures, and ultimately our kids will be released for us to do a befitting funeral.
16 members of the school's cadet went on their routine weekend jogging. 10 of them decided to go for a boat ride at the Dikpe River, one of the tributaries of the Black Volta, according to Primus Baru, who took over as headmaster exactly a week ago.
According to my cadet organizer and the patron, they wanted to also explore. And in the course of the event, in fact, before they set off, according to their leader, before they set off, the water started entering the boat. Actually, they have overloaded the boat. I understand those boats, they take about 6 people at a go. But 10 of them boarded, including the one who was paddling the canoe, making 11. So even from the set off, the water was... So the cadet, the leader at that time, indicated that they should stop the journey, but the one who was paddling the canoe carried on. I think by the time they got midstream, that was the time the situation overcame them. So in an attempt to turn back, the water entered and the boat capsized.
Briefing members of the Upper West Regional Security Council, led by its chairman, Charles Wongo Pozon Esquire, Primus Baru says they have duly informed all parents of the victims identified. Lawyer Charles Wongo Esquire described the incident as unfortunate, pledging that they will put in measures to prevent future disasters.
It's unfortunate that we've lost vibrant, young and upcoming persons. And from your report, we've lost 5 young girls and 2 young men. It is our prayer that the families will accept it, the school will accept it, and then all of us will accept the situation, whilst government looks further in terms of what we will do on the water, which is something that we know often than not people like take adventure or intend to cross to the other side.
The Upper West Rexec members later visited the Lawra Senior High School to console the staff and students over the loss of their colleagues. Some students shared memories about their departed colleagues.
Some of them, they are my friends.
So how do you feel losing them?
I feel so sad with them. We were praying for people that we always play with. We are only learning mates, but now if it's we can't find none of them.
The RECSEC members earlier called on the paramount chief of Lawra to brief him on the issue.
Behind me is the mortuary for the Lawra Hospital, where we are told that the 7 bodies that were retrieved have now been kept. We are told that investigations are ongoing, and then once they are able to finish with the investigation, they will release the bodies to the families. The situation in Lawra is not that of the best. The people are in some mood. They are grieving over the lost. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Lawra.
Just the lack of life jackets for canoe rides. Osman Abdul Latif Sensio is the regional director.
NADMO has always provided life jackets at all river villages that are across, that are around rivers. And this time we're very surprised that these life jackets that we provided over the years were not found. And so when this thing happened, we have come into our offices, and then that we are providing them with enough life jackets that everybody or anybody that is crossing the river will have to wear a life jacket before he can cross or before she can cross. This one is to prevent people drowning, those who are even not able to swim across when maybe an accident is to occur. These life jackets will be provided. What we have realized is that many of these villagers take these life jackets as their personal use when they are provided. That's why that's what we have gotten to know from the chief or the one that is in charge of the river around the Dipe area, that some of them have used them as their personal property. Meanwhile, they are supposed to be kept around the river, that anytime anybody is crossing, whether using a canoe or want to swim, will still use these life jackets.
So meaning that they use them anytime they want to cross, they use them?
Yes.
But they won't give it to any other person?
They won't give it to another person. But this time we are going to put in place some measures that these are not going to be personal life jackets, but they are going to be for the public. Anybody who is going to use them will use it and bring it back.
Then the last thing is that about the operator of the commercial boat. Where is he?
He has escaped. We have not gotten where he is now. He's a Burkinabe, but from the people at Dipe, they said with the boat they will be able to identify the person because they know who owns which boat. So with that one, they are going to be able to identify the person, and whatever the case will be, then they will bring him to the police or maybe to Ghana to see how he will be sanctioned.
Well, regional correspondent Rafiq Salam joins us with the very latest from Lawra. Rafiq, what more can you report? We understand the bodies of the deceased have been handed over to their families for burial. What's the latest?
As now, they have now been released to the families, and as we speak now, they have been buried, and then the funerals are ongoing simultaneously in their various communities, talking about Yongmane, Cesar, Erangmo, and then also some around the East municipality around local area. So the bodies are currently, they were buried, and the funerals are ongoing. And also the Upper West Minister also spoke about measures that they want to put in place. They talk about the setting up of a committee, at least to look into the issue, and then also recommendations will be made, at least to have a look at what, in order to stop what will happen in future the disasters.
And thankfully, the regional minister joins us on the phone line, and let's go to him and get the very latest on the investigation that is being conducted into this exercise. We're grateful for your time, sir, on our desk. How far with the investigation into this incident? I understand we just lost the minister there. But Rafiq, so they're being buried, but do you know of the investigation that's ongoing into the incident?
You know, they have done initial investigation on the issue, and that was what the headmaster of the school, Primus Baru, told us that were students from the cadet corps, numbering about 16, who had their usual routine weekend, jogging, and after that they decided to go for a boat ride, probably to Burkina Faso. The Dike Bridge or the Dike River, it's a tributary. It's one of the tributaries of the Blackwater.
Right.
If you look at Upper West region from Kokolubu around the Nanda municipality up to about New Longoro, we've gotten about 183 communities that are lying on that stretch. And so what usually happens is that people normally cross from one end to the other. So from the Lawra side, then you can get into Burkina Faso, but when you go to the Solotuna Kalaba area, then you can get to Ivory Coast.
Rafiq, so we have the regional minister. Let's quickly go to him before we lose him again. We're grateful for your time, sir. We want to understand at which point is the investigation, at least, was getting to the riverside, boarding a canoe, part of the plan for the kids jogging as part of the cadet corps exercises? Mr.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
I didn't.
Yes, I was trying to understand the state in which, or the state at which investigations have gotten to. What more are you learning on this very incident? Looks like the lines are unstable there with the regional minister. If you could listen to me through the phone, that will be helpful, Mr. Minister. We're trying to find out the state at which the investigations are. What more can you tell us, or what more are you learning as regional minister? So as we try to get back the regional minister on this very, very tragic incident in Lawra, he once imagined a peaceful retirement after over 40 years of hard work around the Akosombo Dam. More will be coming on this particular story, but let's...